If you're a salesperson or entrepreneur, what is one skill that you really should develop some time and talent in? And why does it matter when it comes to asking questions? This is a fantastic question. I'm Scott Silvenbell, coming to you live for HVAC Technician Sales Secrets on a perfect day to talk about sales and business and a fantastic day to talk about you. This video is powered by sellingtechnicians.com. So when you take a look at communication styles, how people work together, how they don't work together, and the problems that they face, there is a saying in business that selling isn't telling. And so what you need to really do is learn how to adapt and ask powerful questions. So you've got the base root questions: who, what, when, where, why, and how. So I learned this from Chris Voss, that diagnostic questions of what and how are asked to figure out the implementation, the direction that something can go. Why questions are reserved and not used as often. So you can go through this process and start figuring out, how can I reduce how many why questions, because they're accusatory. So I got to give shout out to Chris Voss for this one. But if you can think of how to exemplify what and how questions. So a good what question is what would need to be true in order for us to work together. So a good how question is, how could we bridge the gap so that we could work together? So the thing about really good questions is at some point they become somewhat universal, where you can take a what question, like how could I take this what question to a how question? Or how could I take this what question, how can I take this how to a what question? So they're like, you can move them back and forth. Now, I will share with you, there's a couple things that you need to know. Pitch, tone, and timing matter. So you are not an interrogator like that they would show on television, where you're slamming down a phone book and you got the light and you're putting it on somebody and you're like, where were you on Thursday night? No, it's very calm and it's very relaxed. And so for you to get used to this, there are places that you can ask these questions, and they're going to start in your personal life. Right? You're going to practice on people that you know, like, and trust, but you're not going to tell them. So, something may happen in your family and you would have to solve a problem. You may go to them and say, what would need to be true in order for us to solve this and for you to be happy? And then they're going to give you a couple of answers. And then what you're going to do is you are going to peel back the layers of the onion. What I'm hearing you say, it sounds like, it feels like, it looks like, what I got was the gist of. And then they're going to say, and then you can ask a couple of more questions. And as long as you're doing it with respect, calm, and you're not coming like, as soon as I answer that, you're like, there's like a pause between their answer of about 2 to 3 seconds. So if somebody gives you a statement, you can sit there and use some nonverbal communication and nod your head like you're thinking. And like, here's what way that I may do. I'm going to move the camera up just a little bit. I may go like this. I got my arm up a little bit higher than I normally would, so you could see it on film. That I just might go, signaling that I'm considering and pondering something, and that now I'm going to ask a question. Now, here's the thing. If you want to be better at sales, you want to be good at what you do, you should absolutely join my email publication. Go to this URL, type it into a browser, drop in your name, your email address, maybe your phone number. I'll give you the goods, not in the Facebook group, not in the YouTube channel. Private coaching, private training, discounted coaching, discounted training. It's an email publication. You'll freaking love it. Okay. So your ability to ask really good questions gets you to be a better communicator. So the two most powerful forms of communication are questions and stories. Now, it takes a little bit longer to learn how to tell really good stories. This is why I'm saying, hey, let's start with questions first, because you get to ask them all day, every day. And you get to ask them in low risk situations where there's not like a lot of things that you have to worry about. You could ask them at the grocery store. You could ask them in an Uber or Lyft. You could ask them at the airport. You can ask them at a dinner, friends, family. You can ask them to potential clients or clients. And what you're going to find is it takes about 3 weeks. I'm going to give you a magic number. It takes about 3 weeks for you to start really getting okay with this. And if you stick with it, it's probably going to take you about 3 months. So if you're like, hey, Scott, 90 days, I can't do 90 days. 90 days is a quarter, right? And we're coming up on the fourth quarter of the year. It'd be a perfect time to commit and say, I'm going to learn how to ask really good questions. But I'm not going to be that annoying guy that just rapid fires question after question after question, because like you heard, hey, you should probably ask really good questions. Now, here's the other thing. You're not an attorney and you're not trying to build a case. You're being curious. You're asking questions for learning's sake, not for aggressiveness. There you go. You got one of three things to do from here. Just one of three. Find the subscribe button, click on it every time I send out a video. You'll get an update. 2, hit follow. 3, you know what you got to do. Share this video with a friend. We'll see you soon. Thanks for watching.